Well, good morning, furries. This is Palmerhusky coming at you. And, I feel like I need to expand on something that I hadn't expanded on before. And you probably remember it. A lot of you commented on it about me deciding to go to college and how annoyed I was and that people were leaving me because of my education and things like that. With that particular one, I was very upset when I recorded that, and I thought I would do a blog based on that again. A lot of the reason why I'm not where many think I probably should be right now is because of my parents. As much as I cared about them, much as I'm sorry that my father recently died, uh, dying from the bone cancer, I can't help but think if they had not blocked me out from going to college and getting those degrees, that maybe things would be a lot different right now for me. And I look at that and I have to think to myself, yes, things would indeed be a lot more difficult for me, or a lot better for me rather. It would be less difficult. And the reason why is because I could have taken something early on that would have given me a really good anchor in the job market, and I simply didn't get that chance. Now, my parents' reasoning for this was based really in religion. On the one hand, parents of Jehovah's Witnesses, witness parents, they value spiritual goals above all else. They value the idea of going to Brooklyn Bethel or any of the other Bethel locations, which is basically where missionaries get taught. People volunteer for a certain amount of time to help publish the books and magazines that they give out. That was the goals that were held in front of me. Any goals that had to do with secular employment was completely separate, completely secondary, and completely unnecessary. And that's very much how my parents, specifically my mother, thought of secondary education. Excuse me, I'm closing my bathroom door because it's connected to another room where there's somebody sleeping. So that's how she viewed it. She was the primary religious upbringer in that house. My father was just kind of there but providing. So by the time I graduated, I didn't get to go to college. I did leave the witness religion for a short time after I graduated, but then returned. Then after that, I decided I was going to start making my own goals. And I started in trying to get into college, Mohawk Valley Community College specifically. Interestingly enough, I actually got accepted twice into that college, but because I couldn't get my mother to help fill out the financial aid forms, because I was under 25 at the time, and apparently in New York State, if not nationally, your parents are considered responsible for any financial occurrences that you, or incursions, or whatever you want to call it, that you make until such a day as you hit the age of 25. Now, that's fine and good, but what they don't realize is I could have gotten good financial aid, and that financial aid, from what I understand of it, doesn't have to start being paid back until after you've graduated from your coursework. That's my understanding. I don't know that that's actually true. But, be that as it may, I actually got accepted into Mohawk Valley Community College twice, but twice got denied from going to college. And here is where I sit in Colorado now. And now I understand exactly what it was. I have a very good friend, or at least I still consider him a very good friend, who is in the medical profession. He's an EMT. He went to college for a medical background. But he's 21. He's getting toward being more set in life than I am right now. And that's saddening. I could have been further along. And, maybe if things were different, I'm not pursuing that thought because I think in I know he would know where I was going with it. But I think that in money, in life situation, in romance, and a number of other different things, not having gone to school has really destroyed my ability to continue on. I exist. I work for my money. In fact, I just got a raise at my job that I have now. I must be doing something right there. But at the same time, I could have been doing much better. So, I am going to college. I haven't started yet. As a matter of fact, in looking into it, I'm actually going to be waiting until after next April, this coming April. And the reason why I'm doing that is because of cost. I'm still not considered a resident here in the state of Colorado. I want the in-state fees. I don't want the out-of-state fees. The out-of-state fees are much more expensive than the in-state fees that students are charged. And I don't want to have to start out with those out-of-state fees. Too expensive for me. I mean, hell, the in-state fees are not that pretty either. But the more I can cut my costs, especially at the beginning of this, the better. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for all my gen ed stuff at a community college. This should take, I'm being told estimates from 1 year to 2 years. I generally believe the 2 year more than I'll believe the 1 year. Because 1 years tend to be certificate programs. From what I have seen, I've actually taken a 1 year program before, but I never pursued that particular industry because it was one I didn't want to pursue. So I'm going to be waiting until April. I'll be getting my ducks in order in between now and then, but I won't be actually pursuing it until such a time as April classes start, whenever that is, so that I can get that residency. The other thing I did not mention or announce when I made the announcement that I'm going to college is what I'm going to go for. Now, there's only a very, very few couple of you that actually know what I'm going to do for my course study in college. It's not going to be medical. I know that the medical profession needs medical professionals, but I personally can't handle the medical profession. I get queasy. I get emotionally attached to people too easily, and seeing some of the things that my friend has seen in his short time as being an EMT, I wouldn't be able to handle it. And he sees it worse. Granted, if I went for a medical profession, who knows where that would take me, but I would still have to see it, and it's not something I personally want to have to deal with. It's just not, I'm just not emotionally built that way. Not everybody is. That doesn't make me less of a person. It just makes me better suited for a different field. Well, that field, I've always felt I wanted to help people. I've always felt that I could really pass on a lot, even though I don't seem like I have a lot of experience. I actually do. The thing that I'm going to go for is literary arts. See, one thing that's been a constant throughout my entire lifetime, from the time I learned to read till now, is I love reading. As a matter of fact, my latest stint has been the classics, like Socrates, Plato. That's more philosophy, but it is ancient writing, and things of that nature. Those are the type of things that I have become so interested in the last few years. But reading in of itself, I've been interested with reading for years and years and years and years. Didn't do a lot of it because I was doing a lot of studying with the witnesses, and I really didn't have time because that's a major amount of studying. But now I've been doing a lot of pleasure reading and finding that I've really enjoyed what I've read so far. So far I've read The Odyssey, which I'm going to be reviewing. You'll see the date on the video is earlier than this date on this video is later than the one that I'm going to post after it. But that's what I'm going to do. Literary arts, and the view of taking it is to become a literature teacher. I'm not sure in what genre, because apparently There's general literature, literary arts, and then you can specialize in a specific type of literature. For instance, there's a doctor in France who is a doctor of French literature. So we're going to see where that takes me. And I'm actually really excited to be going. I know what college I want to start out with. I've heard really, really good things about it so far. So we'll see. In the meantime, you know what, friends that decided that I wasn't cool enough to be around them anymore, please give me another chance, because I'm going to overcome the programming that my parents did to me, and we're going to make things right. Have a good day, guys.